Welcome back to the Kosi Arsenal channel. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to brand new video. Arsenal have blown away Ipswich Town 4-0, and a couple of talking points in this game. It was an absolute dominance of a game. Mikel Arteta will be happy with that. But we saw a couple of things in this one. Mikel Arteta trying out the midfield without Thomas Partey. Obviously, he doesn't have a lot of time before the PSG game in the first round where we don't have Thomas Partey. So what we saw was Mikel trying out a few things in midfield without Thomas Partey. And of course, we have got to talk about Leandro Trossard in this game. We've got to talk about Saka in this game. We've got to talk about the performance of the forward line. They deserve credit where it's due. And in the last few weeks, this Arsenal forward line has been producing some bit of magic. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Who was your man of the match in this game? I'm going to go with 4 options. Leandro Trossard with a brace. Beautiful goals. Absolutely very, very beautiful goals. But I also want to mention a special player that really doesn't get recognized enough. That is Mikel Merino. Mikel Merino, in the last few weeks, he has been absolutely dominant for us. And it's been absolutely, eye-watering for us. The performances have been really, really good. So he's my second option for man of the match. I think the third option should be Martin Odegaard, in my opinion. He's had a good game as well. And then Declan Rice in that midfield. So let me know, who are you going for man of the match? I'm going to go with Leandro Trossard, in my opinion. I think he had a good performance. He's one of those players that just seem to show up and deliver when the manager asks them to do. Right, so let's get into what this game means and also what we have seen in terms of Mikel trying out a few different things. The first thing I've seen there is, again, Arsenal. We are such a team that is obsessed with possession and dominating and suffocating teams. And in this game, Ipswich Town, they didn't have a chance. Absolutely, Arsenal suffocating them right until the 90th minute. 24 shots for us in that game, and Ipswich had only 4 shots, and they were at home. 7 on target. They didn't have a shot on target. Arsenal 75% ball possession. Ipswich 25% ball possession. This Arsenal team, I think Mikel Arteta, going back into the dressing room, he's going to be absolutely happy with this. This is what he wants. He's a student of Pep Guardiola, and we know Pep Guardiola students, we know Pep Guardiola teams. They want to have the ball until the evening. From dawn till evening, they want to be in possession of the ball, and that's what we have seen today. Now, for me, again, this isn't something very big for Arsenal. Obviously, Liverpool are going to be winning the Premier League, and this is not a performance that we dig much into. But I think there are a couple of things that we have seen that we can talk about. First and foremost, the experimentation without Thomas Partey from Mikel Arteta, and that is something that we all expected would happen because he talked about it during the match preview, and was like, we're going to see what we can do. We're going to try out a couple of options and see what we can do without Thomas Partey. So the midfield starting was Mikel Merino, Odegaard, and Declan Rice. And I really think that is going to that's going to be the midfield that we see against PSG. Merino playing in that Declan Rice position, and then Rice fitting in for Thomas Partey, and Odegaard playing in that channel of space between Merino and Bukayo Saka. And I think it kind of works out very well. Mikel Merino is a bit of a number 10 in his profile. He's that creative player, and he loves getting into the penalty area a lot of the time. Declan Rice naturally is a defensive midfielder. He's a horse. He works hard. He's got the energy, and we've seen it today. He was absolutely everywhere in this game. And of course, Martin Odegaard, we know what he can do in terms of energy, in terms of pressing, in terms of creativity, in terms of just being a captain for this team. So that was the first phase of Mikel Arteta trying out the midfield. And then what happened later is he shifted. He brought on Lewis Kelly into the left back position, and then Alexander Zinchenko moved from left back into midfield, and that meant that Mikel Merino went off as well, and we had a midfield of Zinchenko, Rice, and Odegaard. Eventually, Rice was taken off as well, and then Lewis Kelly was moved into midfield. So I think Mikel is trying to experiment. What can this Arsenal team do without Thomas Partey in that PSG game? And I'm not going to lie, I like the first 2 options. Alexander Zinchenko stepping into midfield. I think the only thing that you don't get with Zinchenko is that, that assurance defensively. That's the only thing you don't get. But apart from that, he's a great player, a great option in midfield. We've seen him play there before for Mikel Arteta against PSV, and he had a very, very good game. And then the idea of Mikel Merino and Declan Rice and Odegaard, I think it makes a lot of sense, especially with Leandro Trossard playing the way he has played today. Let's talk about Leandro Trossard. I mean, what a player Trossard is. He's such a reliable player. I think the word we can use about him is reliable. His reliability is absolutely insane. At his age, he's one of the players that Mikel is always going to call on to, and he's always going to answer the call. He's always gonna, deliver. He's one of the players that every Arsenal fan knows. If Trossard is starting, if Trossard is coming on, you expect either a goal or an assist or a very bad performance. Honestly, that is the only thing with Leandro Trossard. It's either a bad performance or a very good performance. He doesn't have mediocre performances. He doesn't have, good but not good enough. No, it's either a good performance or a bad performance. But today, once again, the goals that he scored, those are goals that you don't get from this Arsenal side a lot of the time. And to put that into perspective, the goals that Trossard has scored today are the goals that Bukayo Saka has been missing up and down in this game. Have nothing against Saka. What a player, brilliant talent, best player at Arsenal by a mile. But Leandro Trossard, Mr. Reliable. He delivers. Whenever you call on to him, he absolutely delivers. Now, Ipswich play a bit like PSG. And I think what Mikel Arteta has learned from this game, and what we've learned from this game, is that Arsenal need to deal better with counter-attacks. There was, I think, around two occasions where the ball was played over the top, and it gave us a bit of problems because Ipswich have willing runners through the middle, willing runners on the flanks, willing runners everywhere. They are willing to go all the way and push your team. That is PSG. They might not have the best defensive shape, they might not have the best midfield, but when it comes to sacking the pressure and just, obliterating with pace and just exploding with pace, that is the team we're taking on in the semi-finals. And what we have seen today is the low-budget version of Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, Bakola, Zaire, and Desire Doué. These are players that are pacey. These are players that can, deliver when it is called for. But I like the fact that Arsenal have come into this game and we have absolutely just dominated. We're back to winning ways in the Premier League. It doesn't really mean much. I mean, it's a game that didn't really mean much right from the start. Mikel knows that you come into a game, even if you win and Liverpool win this weekend, it means that Liverpool are going to be crowned champions in midweek. If they win in midweek, if they win today and they win in midweek, Liverpool are going to be crowned champions. And it hurts. It's not something nice. But I think Arsenal, that's what we could do. That's where our run ends. And now all our focus now is onto the UEFA Champions League. But for me, standout players, Leandro Trossard, very good game. Saka missed a couple of chances, but he had a good game as well. Odegaard had a very good game. Mikel Merino, that guy, we've got to do another video. I really hate doing apology videos, but I think I have around 3 apology videos this season already to shoot. One for Mikel Merino, that should be coming very, very soon. One for Mikel Arteta, that should be coming very, very soon. And there is one more player that I've got to apologize to. But nonetheless, good performance. Arsenal have really turned up. And hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts about the game, and we'll speak again tomorrow.